The secret of alchemy. The key of alchemy may be hidden in plain sight before us. It is everywhere and nowhere at the same time, since it is the logical and intuitive understanding of opposites and what unites them which will give us the understanding of the inexplicable. Alchemists must take care of and hide the secret from those who are not capable of knowing how to handle the divine power of transmutation. For this reason, since ancient times, the great alchemists have hidden in the recesses of the world and civilization to transform lead into gold, because if for any reason they were discovered, they will be attacked, prosecuted, and in some cases, even killed. The natural process of alchemy ends up being incomprehensible to the nature of this world, which is a maze, meaning that this world and the laws that govern it prevent the mundane individual from reaching knowledge of the alchemical process and its long-term benefits. The world is a prison or a loop, and for this jail or this loop to exist, the vast majority of people in jail cannot transcend their lower levels of consciousness, staying stuck at the same point, both spiritual and materially, as they are consumed without realizing about it. The world is those belief systems that tell individuals what is and what is not, setting the limits of the possible, restricting what lies beyond those limits, being labeled as the impossible. The world and the people who support it are the perimeter limit that prevents the individual from transcending the barriers that must be broken so the alchemical process can happen. Since in the same way that the ancient alchemist transmute lead into gold, the alchemist transmutes the dense into the subtle, the heavy into the light, and the mundane into the valuable. But this means going outside the norm. It means breaking with what has been established to precisely perpetuate the great light of the world's prison. And this is not usually liked by the inhabitants of the prison, who constantly choose to continue believing and supporting the prison as the reality. Because for those who blindly believe in the prison of the world, seeing someone who transcends the prison means making them see how wrong they are in believing that prison is the only truth. When this happens, the ego of the jail inmates is hurt, and due to the innate weakness of the average human being who is dominated and governed by the ideas imposed by the prison of the world, he will not be able to bear to see that someone is experiencing a greater truth than he has always seen. And that is when the average, common individual, seeing that another is capable of seeing a greater truth, will attack him, without being able to understand what is being shown to him through another person, which is the way out of the prison. These belief systems that sustain the prison of the world throughout the life of the individual end up forming the individual ego in each person. These belief systems move along with the descendants of families, which causes the ego to become an hereditary entity to all subjects of a family tree have to deal with throughout their lives, creating a conceptual network that limits people over time, adapting to the context of the current moment. The ego, which is a reflection of the world's prison, ends up becoming an homogeneous fabric that keeps all individuals within the same illusion, which all those who are inside accepting the illusion and validate it as the real. For this reason, the alchemists not only face some person incapable of understanding, but also an entire world that has been blind by a collective ego or a shared illusion. Thereby, when the truth is shown to a believer of the prison, it is likely that he will not be prepared to receive that truth. Each individual has his time, and the alchemist understands this. And since the alchemist cannot avoid being an alchemist, he keeps this secret only for those who are prepared and hides it from those who are not, because the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Those who see the truth experience it within themselves, being at that precise moment in which you see the truth within, when the veil of delusion of the world falls and you begin to see that there is something beyond what was always said to exist as something absolute. And while that truth is shown to some, it continues to be hidden from others. No matter how much we want to explain or make this truth understood to those who continue to wear the veil over their eyes, any explanation will be of no use. On the contrary, the more you try to explain or make this truth seen by someone who is not prepared, paradoxically, the further this truth will move away from the person whom you want to show it. So, over time, the alchemist learns to remain silent and hide the truth, understanding that the truth hides itself, and the alchemist having seen the truth, and the alchemist having become the truth itself. For this very reason, the alchemist hides himself. It is something inevitable, since the nature of the truth is to hide behind lies. For this reason, those who don't know both the truth and the lie cannot understand the dual nature on which life and the universe are governed, and being, therefore, that those who only know the lie and therefore understand the lie as the truth won't be able to bear the truth when they see it. Thereby, the alchemist lives in a sophisticated and careful way. The secret of alchemy can only be understood by those who are prepared to receive the truth. That truth that has always been in front of everyone, but which the majority is unable to see and therefore to accept. And in the same way that the alchemist turns lead into gold and transmutates the dense into subtle, the alchemist is the individual who is locked in a prison and escapes from it. So, the alchemist goes from a state of prisoner to a state of freedom, from the shadow of the cell to the shine of the sun on him, once he is freed. Then, the secret of alchemy is escaping from jail. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. The New Alchemist. If I can create, then you can create. If you can do it, then I can do it.